Greetings from beyond the grave. Just kidding. But if you have played a From Software game, you will know what it's like to die over and over again. From Software is the company to bring us gaming series like Armored Core, Kingsfield, and of course the Soulsborne series. They are currently one of the most important developers in the gaming world, and without a doubt the top reason for controllers thrown through TVs. If like me you've been an avid gamer over the last 10 years, you will have noticed a really shitty change in the direction of how developers are running their games. Microtransactions, incomplete games, useless DLC, and progression behind a paywall. With companies like Blizzard, Ubisoft, and electronic assholes, we need companies like From Software. With FromSoft, you get what you pay for. A full game with no microtransactions and an experience that's actually enjoyable. They have never succumbed to any corporate pressure or media-driven criticisms. A very loud and, may I say, annoying minority have been crying out that FromSoft needs to change the way they make their games. Since the start of the Soulsborne games, From Software has been under attack by the scummy-ass media outlets, claiming that they should put an easy mode so there is more accessibility to the games. FromSoft gets a huge amount of respect from me because A, they hardly ever responded to these crybaby bitches, and B, by making the games they want to and the way they wanted to, created a massive culture. Ever since they developed Demon Souls in 2009, FromSoft had skyrocketed into the public eye, and a bunch of scrubs have been begging for these easy modes. However, the difficulty of these games is what created the culture we see today. You can't go to a Souls, Bloodborne, or Sekiro video without people offering advice on how to beat a certain boss. Due to the difficulty of these games, there's also a massive amount of YouTube channels, websites, and individual bloggers that dedicate their full time to creating guides. These games quite literally created jobs just because of how hard they are. And a community that completes these games together. Everyone who plays these games, we all go to the guides, we all go to the YouTube videos. Not once do you ever feel like you're alone in the experience. The second point I would like to address to these bitch lasagnas, is that how do you think we all got good at these games? Us avid Soulsborne players were just as inexperienced at one time or another. The difference is, we actually put the work into the games, which is what makes them good. You do not get babied, and you do get punished really hard for being lazy in them. Let me ask you this. Should the old Contra have had an easy mode? Should Battletoads have had an easy mode? Hell, maybe you people would be happy if we put an easy mode in math. Or how about we give you a participation medal for every goddamn sport you play in? People are so lazy and entitled these days, it's astounding. Put the time in to have results. That is literally the basis for everything we do in life. Every single game is not meant to be geared towards everyone. Don't want to put the effort in? Then go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure or something, because we're tired of hearing these complaints. And leave these games to the people who actually want to accomplish something. The Soulsborne series and the newest edition, Sekiro, do something very special with their games. If you have been playing video games as long as I have, you will have noticed this. These games test your lifelong gaming skills, not just the skills for that specific game. And they put them to the ultimate trial. You will experience problem solving, platforming, exploration, and of course, intense battlefields. Every game they release introduces new mechanics that throw a wrench into your system. Let's talk about Sekiro for a second, which is the newest game to be released. Want to play this game as a Dark Souls or Bloodborne player? Good luck, get fucked. You media corporations want to shit on this game for being accessible? I would almost argue that it was harder to come into this game being a prior Souls player. You had to forget everything you knew about the old games, because if you played this game the exact same way, you were destined to break a literal shit ton of controllers. Let me put this into perspective for you. I beat Dark Souls 3 in 3 days. Sekiro took me 2 weeks. and arguably Dark Souls 3 is longer. Not to flop my wang doodle around, but in the second playthrough, I beat it in about 4 hours. That just goes to show you that anyone can get into these games as a newcomer. It is just a matter of not being a turd monkey about it. Guardian 8. Listen, let's all put our dicks on the table for a second for some real talk. From Software is an amazing company, and they make spectacular games. And these games have formed a giant community. They shouldn't change a damn thing except continue to innovate. These days it's hard to get a good game from AAA publishers. If we continue to push From Software to make easier games, or change in any way, we're just gonna push them to be like everybody else, and we're gonna lose the last bastion of good developers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to let us know so we know what we are doing right. And if you would like to see more in-depth video game topics like this one, make sure to subscribe as we upload multiple times a week. Until next time, I will leave you with this. If you have not played a From Software game, go do it and have some fun.